Buy, because why is JazzyAnne.com having the biggest sale right now? Buy, like why is JazzyAnne.com having the biggest sale right now?
If you were to ask me, have I ever been in love before? I would say yes. I think I have definitely experienced the so-called craved concept of being in love whenever I was about 16. When I was still in love, somebody asked me how I knew. And I told them that I knew because we supported each other, we were really good friends, and overall, I just felt significantly happier on a day-to-day basis just because I was with this person. But now, I'm 20 years old, and to simply just say that my perception of love has changed is an understatement. When I was really little and I wasn't able to fall asleep, I used to straight up talk to the wall and pretend he was a boy. And I'd create this whole story in my head with dialogue and blocking because that was the closest thing I could get to romance at the time. Ever since I first started developing crushes in 2nd grade, I basically did this thing where I would choose a specific person and then I eventually would find myself obsessed with this person. I would fantasize about an entire future with them in the 4th grade. It wasn't until I was 18 years old that I was able to be like, something up here, something is not right. I met someone that I was really, really fond of, and everybody around me was just so uninteresting, but this person was so cool, just very different from a lot of the men that I had been around before, and he was also interested in me. Meeting this person was a wake-up call. It didn't work out. And after spending so much time, energy, and anxiety over this person that wasn't even a healthy option for me anyways, I found myself feeling empty. For a bit, it honestly felt like I wasn't excited about anything. It was in that moment that I realized that I was a problem. I seem to do this thing where I put so much feeling and attachment into a person because for some reason that makes me feel less lonely. I seem to be alright with getting swept up by my own infatuation with the person, even if they were very obviously wrong for me. That I was willing to give up so much of my love and energy to men that I barely knew. And for some reason, I seem to have made myself believe that I needed a specific person in order to feel excited about life. And I honestly think that for a lot of my romantic life, I just wanted to be in love with somebody so that I wouldn't feel lonely. And so this leads me to beg the question, how do you actually know when you're in love?
Can I ask you a question for a video?
Go ahead.
Okay, have you ever been in love before?
Yes, I have.
How did you know?
That's a very, very good question. Just wanted to keep seeing the person and just went from there, I guess.
Valid.
Valid?
No, I have not. Okay, valid. Have you ever been in love before?
No.
Why not? Can I ask you a question for a video? Have you ever been in love before?
Yeah, currently.
How did you know?
It was like a feeling I've never felt before. It was a new feeling, and it was pretty heavy when I first met her,
That's so sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
You just spent a lot of time with me. I didn't figure it out until 6 months later.
Aww.
But I don't know, I just felt better in general.
Hello. Hello. Can I ask you a question for a video?
What's the question?
Have you ever been in love before?
With who?
Anyone.
Anyone? Does it include animals too?
Aw. Like, have you ever, been romantically in love with somebody?
Oh, no.
Okay, valid.
Never.
Okay, can I ask you a question for a video? Have you ever been in love before?
Of course.
How did you know?
And that will be my husband for 24 years.
Aww.
I don't know, I get googly in my stomach when I see him and I care for him.
That's so sweet.
I really care for him.
Aww.
We look out for each other.
Have any of you guys ever been in love before?
No.
I am right now.
Me too.
Same.
How did you guys know?
Whenever I got a snap from them, I think I was just like, oh my gosh, guys, did you see that they snapped me? And that's how I felt.
All the other guys that I interacted with, they were never as nice or cared that much as
The guy I'm in love with right now, I guess.
He's just like the cutest guy I've ever seen.
Okay, thank you. Snap? Have you ever been in love before?
Me, yeah.
How did you know?
I mean, it's a lot to get into. Like, there's just certain signs. Hey, ask yourself, if they were a guy or if they were the opposite sex that you're attracted to, would y'all still be friends? If the answer is yes, that's a good sign.
That's a good perspective.
What about you?
Yeah. Hey, can I ask you guys a question for a video? Yeah, sure. Have either one of you ever been in love before?
No.
Say no.
No.
No, me either. Okay, valid. Interesting. Could I ask you guys a question for a video? Okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. Can I ask you a question for a video?
What's the question?
Have you ever been in love before? He's not interested. Never mind. Can I ask you a question for a video? Bye. Gabe! Can I ask you a question for a video?
Yeah, of course. Wait, let me turn this off. Hey.
Have you ever been in love before?
Yeah.
How did you know?
I didn't think about anything else for a long time.
That sounds unhealthy.
It was.
I love you.
I love you. Oh. Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
How did you know?
I really liked the person past the point where it was just like a normal crush. It's something I felt, like, it just felt different from anything I'd ever felt before. I Googled like, when is the right time to say I love you? 'Cause I didn't know, this is the first time. And yeah, from then on I knew.
Have you ever been in love before?
Yeah.
How did you know?
I wanted to change my whole life for this woman. You usually don't feel it, but when you look at someone and you're like, oh, I could improve myself way more than I ever thought before, that's when you know you're in love.
Have any of you ever been in love before? Oh, cute. Aww. Hey, can I ask you a question for a video?
There's no time to talk. There's a top secret message and you have to read it right now.
Okay. What the I've been a hopeless romantic.
Same.
Okay, cool. I want to be in love. I want to be in love so badly. I think that's such a human thing.
And it's so beautiful. And the
It
way it's
is.
shown, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to date until high school. Whenever I got my first boyfriend, basically, I'm a little songwriter. I love to write poetry, even if it's like terrible.
Especially if it's terrible.
I'm gonna read poetry to Gabe and then I'm gonna reveal who it's about.
Oh.
I love the way you look at me. I can see your eyes glow. Your kindness shines and nurtures me. It inspires me to grow. I don't know what the future holds. I wish I knew the truth. I hope it's at least some place in your arms, some place as sweet as you. Oh, to be loved by the boy with golden skin is a gift to not take for granted. I'm so happy with the base we have. I'm so happy with the seed we've planted.
Oh.
Low-key bars. And guess who that was about?
Can I say their name?
Wait, just like mouth it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I have so much stuff written about these men that I was with, but the honest truth is that those relationships were not good. They were not healthy. I was not happy. I've noticed this tendency in my life to romanticize my relationships. I have poems written about people that I've never dated, actually, that I've never even gone on a single date with. And I think that, like, that's a very artistic thing.
Yeah.
But there seems to be this pattern in my love life where I romanticize the crap out of whatever I'm in whenever the reality is it's really not that great. I'm not being treated well. There is not a future there.
And do you think that's why you do it? That you
Yes.
you romanticize it because it's not that good? You want it to be the best,
Exactly.
but it's not. Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, in the moment too, like, I bet you did really feel really strong, loving feelings at those times, but it's like in a sort of delusional way. Delusion not in like the you're crazy, but delusion in like the you're looking away from the harsh truths that you should be looking at. We know a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah.
And are
I've
those
been
people
like
too.
that.
Yeah, we're
straight
like
up,
those people too.
Straight up. And a lot of my past romantic history reveals that I've been more excited about the idea of being in love rather than actually caring about the actual relationship I was in. Or even like noticing like, oh, okay, this person that I'm fantasizing about, they probably are not a healthy option for me, actually.
Yeah.
But this fantasy of mine fulfills the romantic void in my life, so I'm just gonna continue.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like it's good for now.
Yeah.
But not good for the future, and you don't want to look at that. Jazzy and I read this book called All About Love.
I have not finished it, but it's
Neither
really
have
good.
I, but like we've read it. In the first chapter, she says that love is a verb and love is a choice. It's not a feeling.
Maybe your feelings are so strong for some person, but they give you nothing.
Nothing.
Literally
Negative.
nothing. But because your feelings are so intense, these feelings are so strong, like that's enough for you whenever that's not love. That is not love. You know what? It's embarrassing to be like, low-key, I've been obsessed with people. It is embarrassing, but it's
I don't
also
care.
No, I don't care.
I've been obsessed.
I've
been obsessed.
Yeah.
Because I cared a lot, and I think it wasn't out of any creepiness. It was out of genuine care. And it all comes from a point of care. That's why it's hard to give it up. It's like, oh, if I'm not insanely in love with you, then you're just everybody else.
Oh my god!
And I don't want to give that up.
Wait.
I want to feel like someone's different and new and unique to me. It's hard to like settle into something healthy.
I think that's a hard part of letting go is that like you don't want to come to terms with the fact that they are just like everybody else. You want them to be special. You want them to be different.
I think it comes from the idea that love is salvation.
Oh,
that love is like the thing that takes you away from like the mundane parts of life. Like,
bruh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Because we use that as an escapism. We always do that.
Yes. It was not until this year that I came to terms with the fact that if I was not interested in somebody, I was not excited about life.
Yeah.
Even though I have so many aspirations, I have so many goals, I have so many things I want to improve on myself.
Where's my emotional support random person?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not a healthy way to go about it. Because then you reduce your life to someone else.
Exactly.
And like how they respond to you. And then you base all of your worth on how somebody feels that day towards you.
True!
Or what they don't feel towards you.
Bruh, true.
Because also, we don't know what love is when you're young at first. You kind of like have to, mess up and figure it out. Because like you don't know what is right. And when it feels really good, you're not going to just rationally sit back and like
question it or want to learn.
No, because you want to just feel it and you want to go wherever the feeling goes.
Yeah.
But then that's all it is, it's feeling.
Exactly.
And I think love should be something that's outside of me.
Can we talk about your experience with this man that you were in love with?
So I was, quote unquote, in love. I think that is, I'm going to be quick and loose with that definition.
Yeah.
What I know and believe as love now, that is different. I liked this guy. He was the perfect example of pure feeling and not a lot of rational thinking. I never believed in love at first sight, and then I literally saw him. It was like a movie moment. I felt such a strong sense of desire that I was like, well, then this must be it. This is what everybody's been talking about. And I thought like I finally understood what people were talking about. And he was bad news. I was being looked over, I was being disregarded. I wasn't seen as a priority when I viewed him as a priority. I would make excuses for that because I kind of thought it was gonna, work out. I don't know why. I don't even know where I got that idea from.
No, but that's the thing. The idea that one day this is all gonna work out and this is just gonna be a funny story.
Yeah.
This is our story.
I compensated for his lack of feelings, and I was reading into every single thing as with this small interaction that proves that he is madly interested in me.
That's so real.
But he just doesn't want to show it. So I knew how I felt. But then I thought, does he feel like that?
Yeah.
Like, I get the vibe sometimes, and then other times I don't. And it was this wishy-washy back and forth, push and pull that kept me there. You know, that back and forth, it's like, oh, they didn't really, like, show a lot of attraction for me here. Like, oh my God, now my self-worth is all the way down, and I'm so sad.
No,
and then they'll text you, and then they'll hit you up, and then they'll be really nice for a day. And suddenly it's like, everything is so good. Not only was I just crazy for being insecure, like, we're better than ever.
That is the realest thing. Gabe said this to me once, and this struck a nerve in me because I relate to this, but it's the unrealistic impression that I have to like them the second I meet them. If there is not an insane connection the first time we hang out, the first time we lock eyes.
If it's not love at first sight and it's not like, you know, butterflies everywhere and everything.
If I'm not completely obsessed with them, then I don't really like them. Then I'm not interested.
Yeah. Then honestly, mid.
Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
It's because you want to be swept off your feet.
Yes, true. I do believe in like instant connection. Like we connected like very, very quickly, but I wouldn't say that I was like, we were not like, oh my God, I love him. Like I love him so much. That took time and effort, and it took hanging out
all
regularly.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a while until like we were comfortably able to be like, I love you.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, it's just not working out for me.
What the
So did I just get friend zoned?
I'm very confident whenever I say I have actively practiced love and I feel loved by my close friends because of the way they actively show love. So why is it so different with romantic prospects? Why am I head over heels for this guy that doesn't even ask me about myself?
Yeah.
That doesn't even get to know me. And whenever I think of the people in my life that are the right friends, and I ask myself, like, okay, like, what is it about our relationship that makes me feel loved and makes me confident in my ability to be a good friend? It takes effort, it takes time, but it feels natural.
And
it's not
more
a burden.
accessible.
Yeah.
I don't think love should be something that is super intense the second you meet them. I think it should be...
I think that's dangerous.
It's insanely dangerous. I think what
Yeah.
it should be is you should feel comfortable. And you can walk away from a first interaction or a DM or whatever, however you interact with them and you think, I like them. Or I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
I want to get to know them. And you genuinely seek out getting to know who they are. And you're not chasing the feeling, you're not even chasing anything, you're just wanting to get to know a person.
Yeah.
Like, everything that you can do with friends, you can do with a romantic partner. But it's not necessarily vice versa.
Yeah.
But
fair.
a lot of the foundation of a relationship is friendship.
Yes, exactly.
Or it's the lessons that you can learn in friendship.
Exactly.
I've always wanted to have a relationship with someone that I started off as friends with.
Me too.
Because then I don't feel the need to... That's also the thing with romantic relationships. Immediately viewing them as a romantic prospect.
Bruh, no, actually...
Sorry for the little interruption. You can listen to our live radio show every Friday on kbrx.org. All right, now back to friendship.
Is this weird? So I want to talk about your relationship with Ben. How did you know that you were in love, and how did you two meet, and talk about all of that?
So we met in my freshman year of college at UT Arlington. This group of girls invited me to hang out with them and these two other random boys, and I was like, who the hell are y'all? So that's where I met Ben. And after that, he like asked me on like a date that I didn't even know was a date. I was just like, oh yeah, we're all hanging out. And then I got there and I was like, this is a date, oopsies.
You feel like you're like actually like friends with Ben?
Oh yeah, like even if like Ben and I weren't together, I would still appreciate his friendship so much. He's just like such a nice, genuinely like funny, kind person. I'm happy that he also likes all my friends and like that y'all like him too.
No, he's so much fun to be around.
Yeah, because I've like seen people be like, I don't like your boyfriend. Like I've said that, or I haven't said that to you, but like I've implied that. I have.
But I think a lot of people get into relationships and then realize maybe in the middle of it or like after they're like, I actually don't want to be friends with this person. I don't know if I ever did want to be their friend.
I think what like some people end up getting in relationships for is because that person express interest in them. And like, and like I've done that too, where I was like, I got a relationship and I was like, wait a minute, like I don't know if I actually wanted that for myself, and it was literally just because you validated me, and I was like, okay.
A lot of people are very quick to want to be into a relationship and to want to fall in love, versus I feel like in my experience, whenever I've tried to make a new friend, I'm able to recognize like, okay, this is gonna take time for us to build like an actual friendship.
People can put in a lot of effort and then it like won't come to any fruition, but then afterwards you're like, okay, that person. Like, whereas in a relationship, sometimes I think the prospect of like finding a love is like stronger than the rationality to be like, maybe that person isn't that cool of a person and maybe it's not worth your effort. When you have a conflict, like an issue with your friend, you're either gonna be like upfront and be like, okay, this made me uncomfortable, and then y'all kind of like deal with it. It's just like not as intense. Or like you like fizzle out that friendship and it's like, whatever, that bitch. In a relationship, it's like there's only two people. If there's an issue, a lot of people like don't either address it, or it gets like blown up into this really big deal and it's like a breakup. It's like intense. There's a lot of pressure on it. It's much more like stigmatized to be like, oh, y'all broke up, like what went wrong, all this shit. Like,
but whenever people do break up, I think that it can be really hard for people to move on because there's a grieving process, of course. There can be really fatalistic aspects where people can't let go of an old relationship because they're like, they were the only person in the entire world for me. Like, we were made to be together. I'll never find someone I like that much again.
It's not fair to the other person to like place all your hopes and dreams and like worth as a human being on somebody else. Like, I think that's kind of up. I mean, even if I like lost a friend, like I'd be like really, really upset about it. But like, especially a relationship, I think because it's like a whole new level of like intimacy. And I think for some people, it's like just very, very intense, and it makes them be like, I'll never love again, I'm not worthy of love. And it's like, girl, I love you, all your friends love you, like all your ins and outs, and if that so-and-so can't see it, then like literally they're gross. Suki, don't eat the wire, no.
Suki. If you would not be friends with your partner outside of the relationship, then there are things to reconsider.
That's the whole point of this, is that like if you would see them doing those things to somebody else or like their significant other, like what they do to you, and you don't like that, then like, ooh, then why are you together?
For example,
you literally need to take like a step back and be like, wait.
Recognize if you're just trying to be in love. Recognize if you're just trying to be in love.
Yeah. Do you like the person, or do you like the idea of love more?
Okay, the truth is that I do want to be in love. But more than anything, I want to be with somebody who genuinely cares about me and wants to get to know me. And it just absolutely needs to be reciprocal. I would much rather just deal with my loneliness than try to shove another person into my life just for some sort of intimacy or emotional support. I'm not in love right now, but you know what? I don't need to be in order to feel fulfilled or excited about life, because I'm tired of anxiously just waiting for the next thing. I'm tired of being obsessed about what a man's actions say about who I am. And I'm really tired of accepting pieces of what I want when I really need a lot more. I've decided to take the hint. It's more than okay if I'm not in love right now. And you know, being in love or having that relationship doesn't actually say anything about who I am. And the only thing that actually says anything about who I am is the relationship I have with myself. But it's true. It's true. Also, like, I'm 20 years old. Yes, I want love, but I also want a career that I'm really passionate about. I want to strengthen my relationships with my friends. I want to know who I am. I want to know what makes me tick. And if you're in your 20s and you relate to any of this, especially if you're a young woman attracted to straight men, nah, you especially cannot be placing your worth in other people's hands, because these men do not know what they're doing. And I feel like it's only gonna get worse from here on out. Things don't work out all the time, and heartbreak sucks, and it's real, and it takes a lot of effort and willpower to move past it. But like, things just don't work out all of the
time. There's a lot of comfort in trying to convince yourself that things were different. Our relationship is different. But there's actually so much peace in coming to terms with the fact that your situation is not different at all. Your situation is not on a pedestal. Things don't work out the way that we want them to all of the time. Logistically, this just makes sense because things aren't going to work out until they do. Even if you have a great family, even if you have friends you love, even if you have a job that you love, the feeling of loneliness always has a way of sneaking up on you. But we don't need to be afraid of loneliness, and we don't need to let loneliness plague our lives. Something that grounds me and comforts me a lot is truly trusting in the present moment. I used to be crazy and would constantly ask for signs from the universe in like a butterfly or a song. The next song that plays is gonna tell me something about what's going on in my life. But you know what? The biggest sign we can take is actually just reality. What is happening in real life, and what is that telling me about myself? Things never just happen or don't work out because. Everything happens for a reason. So trust in the present moment and remember that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be right now. I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take the breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. You live your life, you go into shadows. You'll come apart and you'll go back. Some kind of night into your darkness. Colors your eyes with what's not there. Fade into you. Strange you never knew. Fade into you. I think it's strange you never knew. I just saw two butterflies. So cute. A stranger's light comes on slowly. A stranger's heart without a home. You put your hands into your head. And then its smile covers your heart. Fade into you. Strange
I think it's strange you never knew. Fade into you. Strange you never knew. Fade into you. I think it's strange you never knew. I think it's strange.